everyone, welcome to my channel. I am Nurse Abalori, and of course I welcome you here to Nurse Abalori Budgets. And today we're going to be diving into something that can feel a little daunting, but is absolutely essential for financial peace: creating a basic budget. Whether you are a budgeting newbie or just looking to refresh your approach, this video is for you. We'll break it down into simple steps, and by the end, you'll have a clear and concise way to handle your money. Now, side note, if you see me looking down, it is because I am looking down at the notes that I have taken for this video, because I want to make sure that I cover each and everything. And so again, if I'm looking down, it's because I am looking at my notes. So the first thing I want to say is, why does budgeting matter? Before we jump into how, let's talk about the why. Why does budgeting matter? Budgeting isn't just about restrictions, it's about empowerment. It's about knowing where your money is going, making informed choices, and reaching your financial goals. Without a budget, it's easy to feel like money is slipping through your fingers, and it is definitely easy for your finances to get out of control. And so again, one of the reasons why I personally decided to get into budgeting basics or starting a budgeting is because I wanted to take more control of my finances. I want to have better future financial planning. And I just thought, let me start by just going back to the basics of budgeting. I was a person who watched my dad do his budgeting, and he was an old school guy. He did paper to pencil, pencil to paper, however you want to put it. And that is how he did his budget. Every month he would, write down his bills, his debts, and as he paid each one off, he would scratch it or check it off that it was paid. Now that is the way that he did his old school budgeting. But for all intents and purposes of this video, we are going to bring it up to 2025 and get a better appreciation for the art of budgeting. All right, so let's get started. Step one, calculate your income. That might seem obvious. That might seem like, oh, Abalori, who doesn't know that it's best to calculate your income? But it is crucial to get it right. Include your sources of income, such as your paychecks, your side hustles, anything that you're doing that's going to bring money into your household, anything that you're doing that's going to be adding money into your pocket. Now, when I say this, I say your paycheck. Depending upon how you get paid, you may have a paycheck of a weekly pay, a bi-weekly pay, and then even a monthly pay. And yes, some businesses such as the government, the military, they stick to the 1st and the 15th no matter what. It does not vary, it does not change. But for some of us that work in the private sector, or we may have our own businesses, depending upon when we choose to run our pay cycles, this means we can include paychecks every week, every 2 weeks, and then there's some people who get paid every 2 weeks. They have what's called a magic month, where they somehow mysteriously get an extra pay. Yes, instead of getting paid 2 times in a month, they actually will get paid 3 times in a month. So it's important for you to add up what your income is, no matter how you're getting income into your house. Again, whether it's a paycheck, whether it's a side hustle, whether it's a hobby, whether you're choosing to pick up a part-time job, calculate the amount of income that is coming into your house. This is crucial, because you need to know what's coming in, because you also need to know what's going out. So let's hit step 2. Step 2 is track your expenses. Okay, now this is a little bit less fun to do. We all know we hate the word expense. When we hear the word expense, we think of, oh my goodness, I gotta put out money for something, whether it's your monthly expenses, your household expenses, personal expenses, work-related expenses. Expenses is something that most of us do not like to think about. Expenses can be fixed and they can be variable. Now, an example of a fixed expense is your rent. It doesn't change. Most oftentimes, if you have a mortgage, it does not change as well. Your fixed expenses are those things that you know do not vary from month to month. They do not change. Again, this is your rent, Most oftentimes, this is your mortgage. This is your car payment. For most of us, it is our cell phone bills. It is, let's see, those are the ones that I can think of most commonly that are fixed. Oh, if you have any streaming services, if you have gym memberships, typically those are fixed expenses. They do not change. If you're paying now, for instance, I pay YouTube TV. YouTube TV has gone up now to, I believe, like, I want to say $90 a month. I know specifically every month, without a shadow of a doubt, it's going to be $90. It's not going to change unless they decide to change it every year. Like this year, they went up. If you have a gym benefit such as Planet Fitness or Fitness Crunch, typically those expenses that you have, your gym membership stay the same month to month. When I was going to the gym, I was paying $29.99. It did not change. The only time it changed was in the beginning of the year in January, where they added on some type of facility fee, and that was because they had to do like equipment cleaning and their yearly maintenances to the building. Outside of January, February through December, $29.99 is what I typically paid every month for my membership when I used to go to the gym. But I built the gym in my home now, so I don't have to do that. But fixed, again, are the things that stay the same. When it comes to your variable expenses are things that you know may change week to week and month to month. This may include your water bill, your electricity bill, your grocery bill. Let's see, if you guys pay a sewage bill, depending upon where you live at, these things will fluctuate. They don't stay the same month to month. They either gonna go up depending upon how much you use, or they're gonna go down if you use less. And of course, your grocery bill is a variable expense, because one week you may pay $200 in groceries, and then the following week you may only pay $100 because you did your big grocery the week before. So with that being said, you have fixed and you have variable expenses. Now moving along, we are going to hit step number 3. And yes, number 3 is, once you have your expenses tracked, categorize them. Common categories can be your housing, transportation, food, debts, loans, savings. These are things that kind of give you a bucket of where your expenses are falling. So we are going to put these expenses into buckets or categories. It is easier sometimes to know where you're spending, how much you're spending, if things are categorized. Now, again, you may be a person, you don't necessarily categorize your expenses. I am a person, I don't typically categorize my expenses. I used to, but then I don't. As I started to streamline my expenses, as I started to pay off more debt, I did not have to put my debts into buckets. But however, if I did have to put them into buckets, it would definitely be household, savings, and debts. And under debts would include things like car loan, student loan, credit card debts, anything like that will be listed under the debt expense category. But I don't do that as much anymore, so that's optional for you. So now we're coming into 4. Now, this is by far the best part about budgeting, is creating your budget. Just creating your budget. Compare your income to your expenses. So after you've tracked how much money you're bringing in, you've tracked all of your expenses. Now your expenses is everything that you need to pay for the month. Every single thing. And then you've got the column where you've added up all of your income. So we're going to have your income minus your expenses, this, and then what's left over, if anything is left over. And this is where a lot of people will start to see, wow, I am either overspending or I am way overspending. Now, if you are a person and you're budgeting, sometimes a lot of people will go to do different types of budgeting. And one of the things that is most I would say common to use, but I really don't go by it, is the 50-30-20 rule. And that's 50% you allocate to your needs, 30% for your wants, and 20% is for your savings and debt. Now, what I do find about this type of budgeting or this rule is it is not flexible. And for some people, they cannot afford to allocate 50% or even 30% or even 20% to anything such as needs, wants, or debts. Because depending upon what you're bringing in and what you're taking out, or what you're taking out of your income, this may not leave any room for you to invest or save. And that's why I don't think the 50-30-20 rule is always a rule to always go by. I am typically a person, as I do my income and I do my expenses, once my expenses are paid, I am always allocating $5, $10, or $20 towards either a savings or an investment account. And that's because that is something that I choose to do. Most of us kind of sort of live above our means. We have more outgoing than we have incoming, as we can see. And so sometimes this isn't always a good idea to go by the 50-30-20 rule. So you have to work, you have to do, and you have to work what is in your best interest in terms of your budgeting. And so again, I don't necessarily have a favorite budgeting style. I simply just know, for me, I am on a debt-free journey. So this means paying off as much debt as I possibly can until the only things that I have left is my student loan and my mortgage. And so as we round up this budgeting basics, I want to also talk about your budget isn't set in stone. Regularly review it. Always review your budget. And each and every week you should be reviewing your budget. Now, people who are taking their debt-free journey seriously, we're more interested in paying off our debt and saving for the long term. We typically are looking at our finances each day, or at least every other day. I know for me, I typically look at my bank account every morning when I wake up. I am looking at my expenses. I am looking at things that e-checks that may have cleared, things that have yet to clear. So every day I am looking at my budgeting, because I want to make sure that the things that I have chosen to pay have come out and they have cleared. But life changes, and so does your budget. Your budget is usually going to determine your lifestyle. If you are budgeting correctly, if you are budgeting efficiently, and if you are budgeting in a way that is suitable for you, your lifestyle is going to reflect. Once you start seeing, hey, I am budgeting, it's working, I am able to save. I don't care if you decided I am going to save $2 a week into a high yield savings account. At the end of the month, you now have $6 to $8. Okay, that may not seem like a lot, but it's a huge accomplishment when you are starting out at ground zero. And so again, don't be afraid to change up your budgeting style. Don't be afraid to change up the way that you budget. Some weeks you may be able to allocate funds towards your investment. Other weeks you may be able to allocate things towards your savings. And then let's be real, some weeks you may absolutely not be able to allocate to either one. This may be the first of the month where every single bill is due and you're choosing to focus on paying your bills. Or if you're someone like me, what I've chosen to do is, for a while, I did not save, I did not invest. I took all of my extra money in things that I had, and I put that towards the debt that I had accumulated, which meant for at least 6 to 8 months, I was not actively investing in my savings account and in my retirement account, because anything that I was putting into those accounts, I was actually putting towards paying off debt. And so now that my debts are now getting smaller, they're now getting more manageable, I can now start allocating back into my retirement and into my savings account. So as I round up this video, I hope that you all have enjoyed the basics of budgeting. Basic budget is simple. It is also a powerful tool for financial success. Remember, it is a journey. It is not a destination. Be patient with yourself. Be consistent, and you'll start to see the results. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more financial tips. Thanks for watching, and I will see you